United States of America, a land of diversity, a land of dreams, a land of stark disparities. As we journey through the heart of this great nation, we'll uncover the stories of resilience, perseverance, and hope in the midst of poverty. These are the 10 poorest cities in the USA, each with its own unique tale to tell. From the rusted remnants of industry to urban landscapes fighting to rise again, let's explore the lives of those who call these cities home. Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to our channel. I'm Alana, and I am going to tell you the 10 poorest cities in the USA. Did you know? Half of the people in the world live on less than $685 a year, and 99.2% live on less than $22.15 per day. In the U.S., the government poverty line for a single person is $14,580 a year, or $40 a day. This means that the standard of living is much better here. These cities used to be industrial hubs that are now falling apart and empty, or they used to be rural breadbaskets that are often forgotten. So let's dive right in. Starting with the Allentown in Pennsylvania. It is the 10th poorest city in the United States. Known for its relentless pursuit of progress, this city has seen its fair share of challenges. Nestled in the Lehigh Valley, Allentown's industrial history is a tale of steel and manufacturing might. About 125,890 people live in this city, which covers 18 miles. The third biggest city in the state is this town. About 31.43% of people in the city live in poverty and a jobless rate of 10%, and the average family income is about $61,780. The legacy of steel magnate Harry C. Trexler endures in the lush parks he left behind. Today, Allentown strives for progress, with a burgeoning art scene and a revitalized downtown. Next stop is Toledo in Ohio, a city etched into the history of the Great Lakes. The Maumee River runs through its heart, once a thriving port for trade. But Toledo's industrial might has faced hardships in Ohio. The decline of manufacturing left scars on the city. It's also the county seat of Lucas County. 265,468 people are living here. Toledo's population has dropped by 1.69% since the last census, which found 270,041 people living there in 2020. Here, nearly 1 in 3 families lives below the poverty line, with a median income just above $32,000, and 24.46% of households are poor. Toledo, however, remains a city of perseverance, where its people continue to strive for a better tomorrow. Now, Syracuse in New York comes in at number 8 on our list. A city grappling with poverty. It is known as the Heart of New York, or Salt City. Nestled in the heart of the state, it was once a nexus of canals and railways. Yet beneath its picturesque landscapes lies a city facing economic challenges. In 2021, a family of 4 with 2 kids earned less than $27,479 a year. There are now 47.4% of children living in poverty. This is down from 49.6% in 2015, but not enough to make it the lowest rate in the country. It has a poverty rate of 30.3% and a jobless rate of 9.6%. It has 142,000 people, and Syracuse's median income of around $22,790. Syracuse also has to deal with extreme weather, like heavy ice that makes people's energy bills go up. There is a lot of music in the city, and jazz is very famous. A Shakespeare festival is held in Syracuse every year, which draws tens of thousands of people. The next place on the list is the city with soul. Yes, it's Jackson in Mississippi. It's a great place to find great musicians. There is a lot of blues, gospel, folk, and jazz music in the streets. However, Jackson faces its own set of challenges. About 26.1% of people live below the poverty line. This means that 40,000 of the more than 100,000 people who live in this town are poor, and the average family income is only $35,790 a year. 78% of Jackson's kids can get free or cheap lunch. Jackson was named America's fattest city in 2017, which is kind of funny. Many people think that obesity means they are eating too much, but it means they can't get or buy healthy food. Jackson has the 12th highest murder rate in the country. The murder rate has been going down for years, so things aren't as exciting as they used to be. But as Johnny Cash sang, "I'm going to Jackson, that's a fact. We're going to Jackson and won't be back." Next place is Rochester in New York, a city rebuilding from industrial decline. Situated on the shores of Lake Ontario, Rochester was once a manufacturing powerhouse. It gave birth to companies like Kodak and Xerox. People often say it's one of the best places in America for families because it's easy to live in and has a good quality of life. What's the catch then? On one side, there are the wealthy and educated southern areas, which have great schools and low unemployment. On the other side of the Great Divide, more than a quarter of the population lives below the poverty line. As per the U.S. Census Bureau, almost half of all children in Rochester live in poverty. It's home to about 210,000 people right now, but now the city is having trouble with its economy because 29.3% of people live in poverty and 8.9% are unemployed. Next place is one of the oldest towns in the United States, Newark, New Jersey, a city of both poverty and potential. Located across the Passaic River from the towering skyline of New York City, Newark has a complex story to tell. It quickly grew into one of the most important shipping hubs on the East Coast. It is also home to the always busy Newark Liberty International Airport. That's not even counting the many big companies, like Panasonic and Audible, that call Newark home. What's the matter? Things aren't quite as good as they look at first glance. The jobless rate is 10.1%, and the poverty rate reaches 25.8%, with a median household income of around $41,000. About 307,000 people live in the city. It breaks my heart to say this, but the numbers of poverty and unemployment in this city are low. There are also problems in the city with crime and race. Next, we get to the city of Hartford in Connecticut, a city currently in economic decline. Known as the insurance capital of the world, Hartford has a storied history. Yet economic challenges have taken their toll. In the past, the city was a thriving town where people really liked living. The state's industrial industry suddenly went out of business, though, taking with it all the fun, skill, and jobs. With a poverty rate of 28.4%, 32K out of 120K people live below the poverty line, and the jobless rate is 8.2%, which is twice the national figure. Even though the median income is $36,278 here, it's still too expensive to live. New England's growing star is beginning to fall. After the Civil War, it was the richest city in the U.S. Despite being in one of the wealthiest states, Hartford's challenges are a stark reminder of the uneven distribution of wealth. Another poor city in the U.S. is Dayton, Ohio, a city striving for economic stability. Known as the birthplace of aviation, Dayton's history is intertwined with the Wright brothers' legacy. Yet, it's also a city facing its share of economic challenges. With a poverty rate of 28.6%, as many as 35K out of 125K people live in poverty, even though the typical income is $37,500. At 9.1%, the jobless rate is also very high, but that doesn't mean the city isn't charming. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is a big part of the city and business, is one reason for this drive. But like a lot of the Midwest, the city was hurt by the sharp drop in industry. To make up for it, Dayton has expanded into the insurance and law fields. People from Dayton don't have money, but they always have style. Another state that has been hurt by the famous Rain Belt decline is Cleveland, Ohio. This happened in every state from New York to Michigan and even further south. It's a city with two sides. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stands as a beacon of music and culture. Yet beneath the city's vibrant surface lies stark inequality. Estimates from the U.S. Census Bureau for 2021 show that almost 105,000 people are poor, including more than 33,500 children. Cleveland has the highest rate of kid poverty in the U.S. at 45.5%. 87% of kids eat free or low-cost school lunches. Just behind Detroit, Cleveland is the second worst city for working-age poverty. Every seventh person in the area doesn't know where their next meal is coming from, and every fourth senior citizen is at risk of going hungry. A shocking 29.3% of people live in poverty, and the typical income is only $33,600. The fact that 34.3% of families in this city live below the poverty line is bad for the whole city. But since downtown is still getting better, there may still be hope for the Forest City. Coming at number 1, Detroit is the worst city in the Rust Belt, a city struggling to recover. Once the heart of the automotive industry, Detroit faced an economic downturn that left its mark. It was one of the best towns in the U.S. at its peak. There were almost 2 million people in the city, making it the fourth biggest in the country. Today, only about 621,000 people live here. In fact, Detroit was the biggest city in the U.S. to file for bankruptcy in 2013. The collapse of the car industry was the first sign that wealth was leaving the city. There are more poor people in Detroit than anywhere else in Michigan. You can make as little as $37,000 a year if you can find work. The rate of unemployment is 13.5%. In short, Detroit has no money at all. Even children poverty rate is over 43%. 48% of families don't have enough food, and another 40% of its population relies on food stamps. If you drive through Detroit, you can't help but be struck by how dark and almost apocalyptic it looks. It's hard to forget that Detroit used to be a thriving city. The former giant is getting new life thanks to urban renewal around the city's core. There's new hope for now. That's all I have for you. Thank you for watching. If you liked what this video had to say, click this subscribe button to get more videos like this. Leave your comments below. I'd love to read them.